Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to zoom in on a single ancient verse from the Bhagavad Gita to see what a king's very first command on the battlefield can tell us about his deepest fears. So let's explore this idea. How can one sentence, spoken thousands of years ago, become such a powerful case study in the psychology of leadership? All right, so let's set the scene. We're on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. King Duryodhana has just finished rattling off a list of his army's greatest warriors. You know, a classic power move, designed to show everyone how strong and confident he is. But you can feel it. There's this tension in the air. His confidence is, well, it's brittle. And as we're about to see, his very first command to his troops is going to expose a huge crack in his psychological armor. And that brings us right to the specific verse at the heart of this explainer, Shloka 1.11. So listen closely to the original Sanskrit. And now the English translation. Now, just think about this for a second. His entire army is ready for war. His first priority isn't to attack the enemy. It's not to defend the kingdom. He doesn't even say, "Protect me, the king." No. Instead, he commands them to focus all their protection on just one man, his supreme commander, Bhishma. This just begs the question, right? Why on earth would you protect the protector? It just seems so illogical. I mean, from a military strategy point of view, it makes absolutely no sense. You don't tell your best soldiers to guard their own general, you expect the general to lead the charge. So here's the crucial insight. This isn't really a strategic command at all. It's a psychological one, and it reveals everything about the leader and almost nothing about the battle itself. This is what we mean by a psychological command. It's an order that really comes from the leader's internal state, their own fears, their dependence, their ego, much more than it addresses any real external threat on the battlefield. According to scholarly interpretation, what Duryodhana is really saying is, protect the source of my confidence. See, he isn't actually worried about Bhishma the warrior. He knows he's invincible. He's worried about Bhishma the symbol of his own fragile ego. He's basically outsourced his own courage, believing that as long as Bhishma's standing, he can feel strong. And this is where this ancient story becomes so incredibly relevant, because this reveals a universal pattern of human behavior, something we can still see all around us today. This slide just illustrates it perfectly, doesn't it? On the one hand, you have Duryodhana's mindset. My strength isn't in me, it's in Bhishma. If he falls, I fall. And then look at the universal pattern. My security isn't in my skills, it's in this one job. If I lose it, I am lost. It's the exact same underlying fear, this fragile belief that our real strength is somewhere outside of ourselves. And this really gets us to the key takeaway here. Insecure leadership doesn't build a resilient system with lots of different strengths. No, it creates a single point of failure. By demanding that all his forces protect his one external anchor, Duryodhana makes his entire army just as fragile as his own ego. So, where does this leave us on the battlefield? Well, we have a king who's basically paralyzed by his own fear, and he's issuing commands that are designed to protect his confidence, not to actually win the war. This verse gives us such a profound insight into the nature of dependence when it's rooted in fear. It's a powerful observation about human behavior that is just as true in a modern boardroom as it was on that ancient battlefield. And all of this sets the stage perfectly for the very next verse, where we're going to see how that great pillar of strength, Bhishma himself, reacts to this anxious and frankly very revealing command. We'll explore his incredible response next time.